Good evening, ladies and gentlemen. Tonight, we bring you a topic. It's in the news. It's pretty relevant and prevalent going on right now. Before we begin, I want to introduce the shimmiest of shimmies.
That's me.
Who are you?
Y'all. Ladies and gentle thems, Cindy Lee, host of Sex on Shuffle, ready to talk about the interwebs.
The interwebs.
Yes.
And I am just Hek of Just Another Podcast. And today we're going to talk about Kanye West and the mania that is he and him. And so for those that are living under a rock,
like me,
and don't subscribe to like social media or pop culture or anything like that. So Kanye West is a rapper. He's under the Roc Nation banner. I guess he used to be cool with Jay-Z. He still recognizes Jay-Z as his boss. Gifted producer, pretty good rapper, produced many classic albums, College Dropout, Graduation, my favorite, which is, man, it's crazy that I forget the title of my favorite Kanye West album. I keep thinking Devil in a Blue Dress for some reason, but that's not the name of it. But very, very talented, very talented musician. My Beautiful Dark Twisted Fantasy, by the way. It's my favorite, one of my favorite albums of all time. And one of his, I think his best album of all of them. Has shifted the culture many times, is into fashion, and he's into a bunch of different things these days. Still a part of music here and there, or here and there and there. But has definitely, a lot of the sounds you hear today are definitely, they resonate from his 808s, Heartbreaks, and just a lot of different sounds that he's played with. He's definitely changed the genre of hip hop or rap and has made it more eclectic, or gave people the freedom to be more eclectic, I guess. Because there's a lot of different sounds that I hear from younger rappers today, and I think it's a lot of people are, in terms of the sounds, not the rapping, the sounds, like the tones and the sonics and stuff like that.
You're saying he influenced a lot of people now, like today's
definitely
sound.
I would say definitely him. His sound definitely changed him, and I think in terms of rapping, you got Drake influenced a lot of rappers nowadays to rap about, like, there's no taboo subjects anymore. Like before, everybody had to be tough and machismo, and now everybody can kind of just rap about whatever they want. And
that's interesting.
Rap is a very rich, actually, rap music is probably the most popular music there is on the planet. But I don't know. That's just my opinion. But we cut to the nitty-gritty because Kanye West was also married to Kim Kardashian, who is a model and sells products. She was a reality TV star. They got married, had beautiful children. North is the one that comes to mind. She's the oldest, and is, really cute kid. And they have a son. I mean, I don't know all the names, but they had a family together, and unfortunately, they decided to part ways. I don't know who parted ways with who, but I don't think it was amicable. I don't think it was amicable at all. Actually, I believe Kim Kardashian filed for divorce and made it for real. To which Kanye's reply was he put up a poem about divorce. You can Google it if you want. It just him detailing his feelings about being divorced and the depression with it and the anger and all that stuff. And so lately they're in a beef right now, or rather, Kanye West and Pete Davidson of SNL fame is they have a beef right now because Pete Davidson is dating Kim Kardashian. They started dating. It was rumored they kind of linked up during her SNL show when she guest starred on the show a while back. They've been seen out with each other, and then I believe a month or two ago they made it
official
official
out.
Yeah, and since then, Kanye West has been attacking Pete Davidson maliciously. He's bought a house across the street from Kim Kardashian. He's attacked Pete Davidson's character over and over again. He actually did a video with the game based off of the game's latest song called Easy. Pretty dope song, but the visuals in that video were him decapitating Pete Davidson's head and burying him and holding the head. I mean, it's not smart. I mean, you know, your children are old enough to look at the internet and to see these things, and pretty sure, you know, people are going to remind her, yeah, your dad did that. I mean, the list goes on and on. I mean, he's been attacking Pete Davidson as of, I think, Saturday or Sunday, fought back, wrote him. Yeah, wrote him and told him that, you know, yo, you need to chill out. Like, your wife is, I mean, you're very lucky to have her as a mom. Talking about referring to Kim Kardashian. She's really great with the children. You know, like, you need to chill out. And he told him, I'm not scared of you. Like, I'm tired of you attacking me. If you want to meet up to talk, we can meet up. I'm in LA. But to which, this is where it starts to get really chippy. So Kanye West said, he goes, oh, you use a profanity now? Where are you? And Pete Davidson replied with a picture. Pete Davidson replied, in bed with your wife. And it showed a picture of him, just him in the bed. and so it's just gone back and forth. Well, it's at first, you know, people were applauding Pete Davidson. Some people came to Kanye's defense, which was kind of silly because, in my opinion, he was brutally attacking him. To the point, you know.
So when you say brutally attacking, do you mean physically?
No, hell no.
Oh, I thought I meant.
Talking about Kanye West, right?
I don't know.
Yeah, no. We're talking about attacking him. When we talk about brutally attacking him, we're talking about Gen Z brutal on social media and on the media outlets. Okay. I mean, I don't think either of those guys want to fight like that. Like, you know what I'm saying? But I applaud Pete Davidson for standing up for himself because, you know, after a while, it's like he's, you know, Kanye West is using his platform and being relentless about it and not thinking, you know, not thinking like, listen, dude, your children they're gonna see this one day, and what are you doing? Like, slow down a minute. Like, have these conversations behind the scenes first.
And they probably have. I don't know what conversations are being had, but if you're doing all of this outside, it sounds like it's abusive and manipulative and stalker. Like, it's
Yeah, and then it's gone on to where so on DJ Vlad's interview platform, DL Hughley was there, and Vlad has been asking everyone about the Kanye situation, just, because it's clickbait. It's what's popping. It's part of the algorithm. It's just is what it is. If I want to get a bunch of hits on this show when we post it, I'm probably just gonna use Kanye West versus Pete Davidson, and it'll get whatever hits it gets.
If that's what we were focused on.
Right, if that's what we were focused on. So he asked DL Hughley, what did you think about the situation? And he was like, I don't think it's funny. And Vlad was like, oh, it's kind of funny. He's like, no, I don't find it funny at all. Like, he's like, I know everybody's sitting back and laughing and having a nice little whoop about it, but truth is, and that's not, those weren't his words, I'm just I'm paraphrasing. Yeah. But he said, like he's stalking this woman, and it's not right. He's like, this was anybody else, this person would probably be in jail, or he'd probably press charges. It'd be some sort of paperwork behind this, and there's nothing. Like, we're just sitting back laughing, thinking, oh, this is a funny show, and it's not. He goes, let's forget about all the media stuff and all that stuff, and who Kanye West is. This is a man stalking a woman, and he's harassing her, and like, somebody needs to tell him to stop. So Kanye West attacks him and starts saying, oh, basically watch your mouth because I got goons. And DL Hughley, he never attacked. Number one, if you don't know who
DL Hughley is, DL?
Yeah, he said, so if you don't know who DL Hughley is, DL Hughley is one of the original kings of comedy. Okay.
Before that, right? Like,
he's one of the original
Comic
kings of comedy.
View, BET.
Like, literally him, Steve Harvey, and may he rest in peace. Forget the other comedian. But needless to say, he's one of the original kings. So he's got jokes for days, right? And they started. He started lighting him up. He said, let's see, I have the tweets here. Oh man, I gotta read you these tweets because they are DL Hughley is just, why mess with him? Leave him alone. Like, leave that man alone. Let me find these tweets. Hold on. Because I have the newer ones, but I want to read the older ones first before we get into, because they're hilarious. Like, and it's just like right now, it's just, and he also called Trevor Noah a coon because Trevor Noah echoed the same sentiments. And it's like, why is he a coon? Like, we're like, what do you mean? Like really? Trevor Noah? Come on, dude. Like,
coming from Kanye, who said slavery is a choice.
Right. And called Trump his daddy. Like, you know what I'm saying? Like,
oh, I didn't know that part. That's wild.
At the White House. Like, come on, dude.
He did meet with him, yes.
So this is the first one. So DL Hughley goes, ain't it weird that hashtag Kanye supposedly has all these goons who will kill for him, but not one of them will get his prescriptions filled.
Oh, no.
Here's a thought. Wait. That's in the same tweet. He goes, here's a thought. While you're on your way to kill me in Calabasas, how about somebody drop by CVS and pick up his Xanax? LOL. Hashtag Team DL. Then he said, ain't no way in hell I'd ever be scared of a dude who wears hashtag I know what you did last summer boots.
I can't.
And he said,
I can't.
He said, hashtag Kanye. It's just too bad that you acting like a nut. Like that you acting like a nut won't stop Pete from busting one.
Oh my goodness. I mean, DL's always said things that have been risque, but I feel like the same way, well, not the same way. I just feel like there's other shit we could make fun of.
No,
besides tying it to the mental illness.
Are hilarious. I'm sorry. You know what? all bets are off. You threatened, number one, Kanye posted his address on the internet, and you threatened, like you threatening death. You know what I'm saying? Like you threatening my life. So you know what? Forget the PC gloves. All bets are off. I'm coming at everybody. I agree with it. You know what? I'm coming at you. I'm gonna come at. Listen, it is what.
I mean, multiple truths can exist. Like it could still be shitty, and if they feel they have a right to say it, they could say it. But I'm like, DL wasn't threatened. DL was threatened too.
No, but at the same time, he posted his address. He posted his address on the internet. Like you don't.
He posted DL's address.
Yeah, and you don't do that. Like at the end of the day, you know what are we gonna say? Oh, you know, like nah. I mean, listen. There's ways to take the bigger head, the bigger, you know, be the bigger person. But Kanye's platform is too big, and when you got and mind you, Kanye has clapped back at him, and no one on his feed is like saying, "Yo, chill." Everybody's you right, Kanye. Like you know what I'm saying, and it's like you know what I'm saying. Even when he posted his address, no one said, "Yo, you taking it too far." All it was laugh emojis, ha ha ha, kiki. You know what I'm saying? And nah, you know what? I'm sorry. Yes, we can say multiple truths can exist. Whatever. At the end of the day, you coming at me and you coming at my family like that, because he didn't say anything wrong about Kanye. He said the truth, which nobody seems to in Kanye's cat. He seems to be telling him. He said the truth. He's stalking her. He's stalking.
Yeah, I agree.
Kardashian. He didn't say anything bad. He didn't say, yo, Kanye, you know. In fact, he said, man, listen, he said, I hope he gets help. He said, listen, man, he's dealing with some stuff and his mental illness probably isn't helping. And, you know, I hope he gets help. And for Kanye to like get at him and you gonna get goons, like, come on, like, okay. But then posting my address is too far. And he's done that. He's done that to Drake. He's done that to different people. Like,
I mean, I think that's a separate conversation, right? Because I'm like, it goes back to multiple truths, right? Like, because he ain't shit, we can talk about his ain't shitness in a way that is a little bit more thoughtful. But I'm like, I'm not gonna sit here and police what somebody said. It's said already. But what happens is because they both are celebrities and they're both put on a platform, we also need to be thoughtful of the kind of shit that they say and what it reinforces. Because there's a lot of people with mental illness that don't wild out, that aren't abusive to their partners, right? So like the fact that we go to that so quickly and be like, oh, that must be what it is, and not that he's just a harmful ancient person. It could be that he's not regulated, sure. But it also could be the misogyny and the fact that he has money and the fact that he has social capital and he thinks he can get away with shit like that.
Of course.
Right? It feels intentional. Like, I don't know him, but it feels like, you know, think about the shitty things that happen to the people in our lives, right? Like, y'all could keep that shit private, but for some reason, right, like somebody will put it all out there, right? Or like, we're arguing. I know people that would be in an argument and then manipulatively include like the person's mother or somebody else or the kid, right? Like some trash ass shit like that. Because I'm sure I wouldn't put it past that he did that, right? Because that's the kind of moves that I'm seeing being made, that he probably found a way to like incorporate the kids. Hopefully not, but I don't put it past, because that's the type of shit to me that's in the same theme.
Who's the person we're talking about that wouldn't?
Kanye.
Yeah, I mean, well, I mean,
like. Yeah, the kids being a part of it, like, isn't there? I wouldn't put it past that. I hear that he had something to do with like whether or not he gets to see the kids or something like that.
Well, he's been on social media with that as well,
right?
And he's talking about it's all of those things, Cindy. And I think the mental illness is also making things foggier for him. And I think he's always been misogynistic, and there are things that he's probably should have went to therapy for and never did. And the particularly his mom died. And I think that particularly what I've noticed when his mom passed away, things, you know, like he just started, he became a different person. And
Right.
maybe
A
that
lot
was
of
his,
people say that
but
did something, right? Like that was a
yeah.
catalyst. I don't know,
So
but
so
that was.
he so he went on the internet and said, you know, he doesn't want his daughter on TikTok. She's too young, and he said a bunch of stuff. I mean, it just
But it's all been outside. It's all been
it's
in the
all
open.
outside. So within the comment section of that, Kim Kardashian commented. She's like, Kanye, stop it. You were just here this morning to pick up the kids to take them to school.
So
you know
why do all this extra shit on the social media?
Right. And then he also brought up, and this is the part of the misogyny. He brought up how he would raise he raises his daughters different than his son because they're young girls and there's a young boy and there's whatever difference in society, whatever. And
which is
I think it's still, it detracts from the behavior of what's going on. The stalking.
Yeah.
And you know what I'm saying? And you know, like attacking these people and not, you know, like it's just like, dude, if you've moved on, just let them be. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
He also brought up a joke that Pete Davidson said. It leaked, it was on the news today on social media pages, where Pete Davidson had made a joke, which I didn't find funny when I heard the joke. I remember it was like I think it was on a special. I heard the joke and I didn't find it funny at all. But you know, it's dark humor. You know, some people find whatever jokes, pedophilia jokes, kind of funny. I don't. But he was like, you know, he said a joke about he's at his friend's house and his friend's son was teething and started sucking on his finger, and he was like, you know, I started looking at the kid. I'm like, yo, you know, like you know, you playing games. Yeah, he basically made a joke like, you know, basically, I'm not having sex with kids, but if I did, if I was, he'd be the one or whatever. And I didn't find that funny.
Yeah.
I find it, you know, like I don't find those kind of jokes funny. But he brought that joke out. He's like, that's why I don't want him around my children. And I don't know. I mean, I mean, listen, me as a father, I would definitely have an issue with that. You know what I mean? I'd have an issue with those kind of jokes. And you know, but the conversation would be in private. Like it wouldn't be, because we can all make things public. We're not going to make it as grand, you know, as public as Kanye West versus Pete Davidson, but we can all make things public. You know what I'm saying? We could all be like, you know, oh, you know, be on Instagram, yo, you know, my baby mother got this dude who, whatever, you know.
Yeah.
But you know, you would think you'd want to just make it a private conversation, like, yo, you know, I don't know what that was about, but I don't find it funny, and I don't know, you know, I don't feel comfortable with you around my children. But again, it's a distraction. It's a distraction tactic to not, you know, for people to be like, oh well, it's okay now. It's okay for him to stalk and harass, to you know, to harass Kim Kardashian because of these things. And no, it's not. Like, you know, like it's just at some point, and I know, you know, Dylan, I could see, I don't know what their relationship was like, but I'm sure it was tiring for her. I'm sure it was tiring for her. And for her to support him throughout everything. And I think no matter what, she always supported him, even when he wore the MAGA hat and was in the White House and publicly showing his support for Trump. She supported him. You know, she didn't say he was wrong publicly. She said, yo, everybody has the right to choose. And it may not be my choice, but everybody has the right to choose. That's part of That's part of being American. That's part of, you know,
Mhm.
your right to who you want to vote for. And nah, I
Which is
mean,
wild, because I don't think I could do that. I ain't fucking with you. Like, that's
right. Like most people be like, yo, nah, son, I don't think this work out. But she
yeah, like
stood
it's
by
deeper
him.
than just a vote. Like, I don't,
Yeah. Right. But she
I
stood by
mean,
him
everybody
because
has a
yeah,
yeah.
because you know, I believe part of her knew realized that part of her knew like the mental illness piece, he's either not dealing with it properly or it's clouding some of his judgments. And
Well,
or maybe
I
it's
don't know
just
enough.
yeah, you know, I don't know. But
I don't know
she's
enough, but
she
it's
stuck
just
by him.
everybody talks about mental illness,
Yeah.
and I'm like, yeah, but is it because that's the key word that is always used with him? Because there's a lot of people diagnosed and undiagnosed. That the point is that their behaviors ain't shit, right? So like, even if Kim didn't support him in MAGA hatness, she still deserves to be with somebody that isn't fucking abusive, right?
Yeah,
and that's a lot
sorry.
coming from me because I don't give a fuck about her, right? Like in the same notion, she just told people who
Yeah,
don't have generational wealth
they need to
to
shut up and work.
get up and work because we don't fucking work, says the self-made fucking clan that has had money out the shit, right? But at the same time, she's still a human. She still deserves not to be manipulated, you know, manipulated to be safe in her home, to fuck who she wants to fuck if she's not dating, you know, like if that's whatever, if that's what it is and they're not married, like totally. He was dating somebody too that I heard, I don't know if it's true, that it was a purchase. Like it wasn't even, I don't know if they
seemed like a setup.
that.
It seemed like a setup because
but it was a setup, supposedly, right? Because somebody was revealing a TikTok, whether or not this TikTok account was accurate, because they were accepting like anonymous stories from people and then doing reenactments, right? It was this little cis white girl with like whoever. But I wouldn't put it past. I wouldn't put any of it past. I don't have enough info. I don't know them. I don't have no fucking loyalty to them, right? Like, sure, of course you did that.
Yeah, definitely.
Of course you did.
It's, you know, I mean, it is, yeah. And then, so I want to read a couple more tweets to you. So at one point, this is DL Hughley versus Kanye West. So Kanye West called DL Hughley a drug addict and a dumbass house N-word.
See, like that's terrible.
and you know, like, and then he on Instagram, this grown ass man picked this outfit out himself. Is he influential or under the influence? And there's people in the tweet, in the feed, they're just like, you know, just propping him up, like, hi, you're funny and all this stuff. But you can't play with a dude like DL Hughley because he comes back. He says, hashtag Kanye. How dare you talk about the way someone dresses? Look at you. All those people in your head and not one of them got a Macy's card.
See, that's not funny. That's what I mean. Like, how you sitting here being like, no, you're wrong for doing these actions. And I get it. Like, I'm not Michelle Obama.
You know,
like,
it's funny.
Go high.
You know it's funny. You kind of, you know. It's wrong. Listen, it's a below the belt joke. And
influence is real though. Like y'all have a lot of access, right? With that, you have a lot of, and I'm not saying that that's their duty, right? Like, and that's my opinion, right? Who the fuck am I to DL? But
like, DL isn't attacking people with mental health. He's attacking Kanye West.
No doubt, but there's more creative, right? It goes back to that comedy shit, right? There's a lot. I like DL, right? But DL always been like that. He's been like that since Comic View, right? He was even raunchier, right? Like now he's like matured, but he was raunchy and with the serious clapback. And still, that is true. And so is me being like, come on, you're so gifted. There are other ways to talk shit about him, right? Like there's. You know, I know what you did last summer, Boots. That's fucking funny, right? Like that's.
Wait! You gotta hear this one.
About his other shit.
You gotta hear this one because this one is crazy. You're gonna like this one. It says hashtag Kanye. Do you know how horrible you gotta be to make a Kardashian date a white man?
I can't. See? And that's why, like, we all have our problematic things.
Listen, and then supposedly, so Charlemagne from Power 105's The Breakfast Club has started to chime in, but Charlemagne has been very he's been out, like he's not attacking Kanye. He's trying to reach out to him and say, listen, bro, you are bugging out.
He's been evolving.
Yeah, like he's telling him, he's like, yo, when the things first started, he was like, why is he attacking Pete Davidson? Like, what's wrong with him? Like, Pete Davidson's mad chill. Like, he doesn't do nothing to nobody. Like, why is he attacking him? He's like, like, it doesn't make any sense. And he's like, dude, like, that ain't right. Like, it's not cool. Like, you're trying to bully this kid. And all he's trying to do is live his life. And, like, it just so happens to be with your ex-wife, but she don't want to be with you no more. Like, you messed that up. You dropped the ball. And so basically there was a call where Kanye West had reached out to Charlemagne, and they had a conversation or whatever. And somewhere in the conversation, Pete Davidson's penis size came up. It was just like, what are we talking about? Like, listen, man, it again, all these things, right? As funny as they are, and we can start talking about Pete Davidson's penis size. Which
has been a conversation starter before. Like, that's not just started here.
He denounced that though, because Ariana Grande started that, and he was like, she's evil. He goes, when you think about it, look how small she is. Everything's big in her hands.
I mean, I don't know.
Yeah, and so he said, yo, no, he said that in a stand-up. He said, he goes, yeah, it's a messed up setup. So now every time I date a woman, they see my dick, and it's like, oh, I said, okay.
Expectation and reality.
Right. But again, we could see how it kind of took us away from the real topic, which is the stalking and the harassment.
Not his penis.
Right. Like it's you know what I mean? Like it takes away from the criminal act that's really going on, really, when you think about it. Because there'd be an order of protection or something, which I see that in the near future.
I mean, and that's a whole other issue, because to me, I'm like, the police aren't great at that either. Not like celebrity aside, like when it comes to order of protection and shit like that, to me, in my experience, that hasn't been.
Women get killed with order of protection.
A secure safety net, right? But like, it's really thinking about the harm that can exist, because where is somebody safe? And at the same time, it shows that there is always going to be shit, and even with like the privileges, because you got access to shit, but that doesn't mean harm can't come to you, right? Which is why thinking about how we think about money and shit too, because there's a lot of layers. I get it. That's why I'm like, I understand all these pieces, and I like talking about these things, because it also gives you an opportunity to take a look at some of the people around you and how they react to shit, so that you could be like, where is your head at, and how you're not seeing the connection to real life shit. Because I would like to know if anybody in my squad, right, or my community, how they feel about this shit. Right. Because I wouldn't feel safe if you sit here thinking this shit is funny. Then you're the same person that might cape for somebody who abuses me if you think they're cool, right? Which shows you what social capital can do and what our opinions can do. And I know sometimes people are like, it's not that deep, but it is, because what are we reinforcing? Somebody's gonna get a battery in their back from this. Hopefully that doesn't happen. And again, he don't have no control over that. Nobody does. And I would like for us to be like, this is trash ass shit, for us to honor that all these things are like unfortunate. And he needs to go back to Wyoming or something. Like, I don't know. I hope healing happens all around. And the Kardashians ain't shit to me, right? Like all of that shit exists. I hope the kids are okay.
Multiple truths can exist.
There's multiple truths, and that's just my opinion. That's my opinion.
Yeah.
Based on information I know, maybe people met her in real life and they think she is a gem.
Yeah. I don't really care. I'm basic in the sense where I don't really care what her character is. You pointed out that she's a human being. And
yeah, for sure.
You deserve human rights. So regardless of her faults, which she's not perfect.
Those are separate. That's a different meeting.
Like it's still wrong what he's doing.
Absolutely.
I don't think he understands the potential damage that could be caused by his actions. Not just, you gotta look at the children. You know what I mean? There's just a lot of mainly the children. Like look at what you're doing. Look at what you're representing. You could be representing Black excellence right now, and instead it's just feeding into what people think about us that aren't in our culture, and it's just feeding that, and they're thinking, oh, this is funny, this is ha ha. Look how they act. Look how he has all this money, and look at what he's doing, and it's just not cool. And the people that are supporting his actions is wrong. Like, I've gotten all the people out of my life who I felt would enable me or have enabled me. Gotten them all out of my life, with no regrets. Because what is your purpose? You want to see me do crazy shit? Like you want to see, you're not really here to see me win. You want to see me. You want to support some. Me doing some dumb shit. So no, you're out of here. Like no, I've got, and so like it's, I don't know, like it's just it's the wrong kind of circus. And there's a woman's right to just be
absolutely
at being attacked. There's children's lives. Their mental health and just the fact that like you don't think North has kids that that'd be like, yo, because everybody's on the internet. The kids, kids have more access than ever. And you don't think people or oh man, her, look at her dad. You know what I mean? Doing it.
But even strong, like even before that, then, because I'm like, if that's the case, we need to really think about how much we consume this for the purpose of entertainment. And I don't know if it's real or not, but if it's real, that's people's real lives, right? So the way that we think we have an entitlement to the lived experiences of these people, just because a whole shit ton of us know them, like it's a I guess it is when you talk about like the woes, right, of celebrity culture and what celebrity culture can do and how social media plays a part in that, because then people get put on pedestals for like social capital reasons, right? Like if you really think about it, I'm not saying these folks can't have opinions on worldly things, on politics, on fucking social justice, but they're artists, right? Like they came here with a particular thing, and because they have so much access to people being on them, that's what comes with the territory, right? You're gonna have all this access and privilege from whatever you did and all the magic and art you have, but that also means you got all these folks criticizing you, right? So of course people are gonna talk about what the things when you was a shit, but even before, like all these kids are gonna hear not only of this, but of other trash shit that probably has happened, right? Like the fact that we gotta really think about how much is out there. And it's a different world that we live in. People want that access. And it's just being mindful of how we consume it. And we get in these echo chambers that I get really fucking worried about. I really feel like we weren't supposed to, and I be on social media all the time, and I feel like we weren't supposed to know all of these things about these people. And on that flip side, maybe this being public may be helping her because people know that something's going on versus other folks that, you know, they get isolated in abusive relationships and nobody knows where they at, right? Until something terrible goes down. So I don't know. It makes me think about a lot. And I get it. Twitter be funny. And then I worry because that shit trickles out of Twitter, right? Like that shit goes deeper than the shit that we see. And I hope nothing worse happens.
Totally.
And I don't know these hoes, right? Like all these things.
You see just how you don't like D.L. Hughley making these mental health jokes about Kanye West. You go back to calling her a hoe. Even
no, all of them. I mean, and I think that's how you interpret hoe. Because I say hoe like folks.
Yeah, okay.
And I am a hoe. Like I'm a very proud hoe. And these hoes ain't shit. I don't think that's the same thing as talking shit about mental illness. But you are free to have a difference of opinion.
Yes, I am.
Yeah. Because it has nothing to do with her sex work, even though I think it's terrible. I am pro sex work. And if she meant to put that video out, I don't remember if she did or not. Hopefully it wasn't revenge porn because that's trash. But I think it was intentional. And if it was intentional,
the rumor was that
it's not my cup of tea.
Yeah.
I hate it. I still hear it.
It said that the mom orchestrated the whole thing.
It was terrible. Well, for me, let me not say that because I don't want to shame anyone. If that was good for you, or if that's the kind of sex that you have, that's cool. But I remember when I first seen it, I was a younger person, and I still am like, no. That's not my fucking cup of tea. I can't hear I'm exploding and not think about it. Like it makes me upset. I want other memories in my brain, and these unfortunate ones stay
Those are burned in. Those are burned. I don't remember it. I've watched it, but
I do. See,
it was basic to me. I didn't think. Plus it was like I was like, you know what? I don't want that burned into my brain because I don't want Ray J's penis in my brain. Like I don't really care.
Oh, I mean, kudos to Ray J.
Like I don't want Ray J's penis. I none against anybody's penis, I guess. Whatever.
No,
I don't really care. But I just didn't want that.
Brother?
I just, you know, I didn't want his penis in my brain like it was in hers, apparently. And
that would hurt.
Yeah. But no, I mean, you said you definitely made a lot of great points. And I mean,
and two penis references that didn't come from me, by the way.
Yeah, I made them. It's whatever. Penis.
Yeah, I didn't do it though. Like, don't blame the sex lady.
Yeah. Whatever.
You know, there's nothing wrong with sizes and.
Sure. But no, I mean I think it's not cool what's going on, and it's just, you know, like I love his music, but every time something else comes out, it makes it hard. Like I've canceled R. Kelly. Like I don't listen to, and he's got amazing, beautiful music that I just I'm not gonna listen to anymore. Like I'm just like, I don't care, you know, that's on you. Me personally, I'm not listening to R. Kelly anymore. And as time goes on, like I'm listening, I'm just like, yo, like you make it really hard. And I love Dark Twisted Fantasy. One of the, you know, it's one of the best albums in hip hop history. And it just he's making it harder and harder for me to enjoy that. Just because I can't filter out the dumb shit. It's latching on to all of his work and all of his artistry. Yeah. And it's kind of corrupting it in a sense, you know, and it's
but I guess that's a good example of why people critique, right? Because we can't take apart the personal and the professional. If we know it, if we got access to it and have been exposed to it, we'll be like, damn, right? And that's something like that's an L I'll have to take because it goes against what I feel, right? Like, and that's not gonna happen for everybody, right? Like DL Hewley in particular, he said, "Oh, I fucking listen to the what do he say, the Star Spangled Banner or the Pledge of Allegiance, so I'm gonna still listen to R. Kelly." And I get what he's saying, and I feel like that's not the same. And you don't. I don't think you do that. I don't think you wear red, white, and blue on 4th of July and sing the Star Spangled. I don't think so, but. If that's the soapbox you want to be on.
Yeah. Come on, DL. Be better than that.
But he did have said that one day.
Yeah, nah, I'm not listening to R. Kelly. I can't, I came close to canceling Michael Jackson. But a lot of that stuff is unfounded. And it even like, after he died and they came out with that video. And it was just in poor taste. And even the people that were part of it were like, yo, we really didn't mean, a lot of that stuff is out of context and it wasn't, and I mean, they try to create a narrative, but had any of them said, yeah, that was true, Michael Jackson would have been off. And I love Michael Jackson. Like I love, like his music.
There's some people that won't come off, right? Like I know there's Keith Sweat songs that if you really listen, they're fucking rape carols, right? But there's some people that you're not gonna tell them they're not gonna listen to Keith Sweat, right? Or if you think about the history, when you find out like who was in an abusive relationship, right? Like, or who was, when we think about like who, Ray Charles, right? Like, or people that we know that
Dr.
were
Dre and Michelle, which was big in the late
like
80s.
You fucked her whole career up.
And beat her up.
Right, her whole livelihood, like I don't know, from what I've seen, I can't, like,
and put hands on her, like for all of that, you still toxic, put hands on her,
violent, right, like,
like yo, you know what I'm saying? And he's like,
so but that's a whole other thing, because I'm like, once you start opening it up, but I'm like, I think that's why there's things that there's private things and then there's public things, and we got to realize the power we have and the things that we listen to and the endorsements we make, right? Like, and I know, and there's a fucking range, right? Because I'm problematic to some people. There's some reggae music that I still will not listen to, even though I'm like, oh, he wouldn't like me, right? Like that, you straight up talking about all types of burning and all types, right? But there's some stuff that whatever. Do what you want, y'all. I just want y'all to be curious.
You would be okay,
thoughtful.
But gay men would not be okay. But you would be,
but not all of them. If you listen to some of the conscious music, it's also talking about not giving head, right? Like not eating the box in any kind of, whether it's gay or not. And they'll talk about lesbians separately from gay men, right? And it's music that's from my whole, right? Same thing with like R. Kelly, my whole life. So
you listen to them burn the gates. You listen to them burn the gates.
I mean, there's certain songs, right? Even if you listen to Vibes Cartel, you can't tell me that that's not been on Hot 97. And before they didn't used to censor it, and they do now. So
it's but anyhow, I feel like we had
that's our closing tangent, and now that's it. Look, we go from all ways. If you stayed on to the I appreciate you. Okay, I hope your day is easeful, and I hope your butt is relaxed in the ways that it needs to. And I'd love to hear from you. Like, what do you think about what's going on? Do you think about it at all? Are you like, bitch, they ain't giving me a stimulus, so why do I care? I don't know. Talk to us. Let us know. Thank you for listening and watching. I'm Cindy Lee from Sex on Shuffle.
And I am at JxS, at just.heck.
Ow.
Of Just Another Podcast. And we thank you guys for watching, listening, feeling, enjoying, or not enjoying. Whatever. If you're listening, that's all that matters to us. And we want to thank you guys for tuning in. and catch us on the next one. Peace.
Shimmies.
Shimmies.